Hey, what's up guys? Sloth King here. Today I'm working on my 4Runner and I'm going to be replacing my rotors, brake calipers, and my brake pads. Since I did the front calipers after I got it, the caliper seized, I figured that I should just replace the back calipers as well, just to be safe, and they're pretty inexpensive too. Since I already did the front rotors and brake pads, I might as well do the rears, because I don't know when the last time the previous owners have changed those. But anyway, yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing today. As you can tell, I already got the 4Runner up on the jack stands and the tires off. So I'm gonna start on the passenger side, just go through everything on there. I'm gonna do the driver's side, and then we're gonna bleed the brakes, and then go for a test drive afterwards. So enough talking, and let's get into it. So, okay, yep, that makes sense. Well, I've been feeling like it's been dragging. It should not be doing this. This is actually pretty hard to turn. So that makes sense why my acceleration has been feeling really weird lately. My parking brake is off. This brake pad looks pretty worn. So I got the new calipers in here. They're Nugeon. I've used these on my Supra in the past, and they're fantastic. These are rebuilt or remanufactured, whatever you want to call them. And I never have any issues on them, and these have a 10-year warranty on them. So I got these off of Rock Auto. Just like my front brakes, the rear brakes, I picked up some Akebonos. They are ceramic. They have very good stopping power. I love these things. I wanted to get some for the Supra, but they don't make them anymore. Let's move on to taking this caliper off. And yeah, disregard what's in here. I left it outside, and water mixed in with the oil. This pan is cracked up here, so I'm gonna have to throw it away. I'm just using it to catch the brake fluid, and then I will dispose of things properly. So you gotta take off these two bolts right here on the caliper. This is for like the moving part, to take out your brake pads. And then the caliper bracket, there's gonna be one bolt here and then one bolt here, 17 millimeters. So I'm gonna go through, loosen those up. I'm gonna take off this retaining clip for the brake line, and then I'm going to crack this line. Actually, I'm gonna crack this line first. That way I can remove the brake line before I take off this part of the caliper. So let's get into that. It's a 14 millimeter. Ooh, look at how low those brake pads were. Yeah, that's really bad. Just for a reference of what a brake pad should look like. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Now time to remove the caliper bracket. I feel like this is gonna be on here really tight, so let's see if I can get it off without the breaker bar. Okay. If you're in a tight spot where a breaker bar can't fit, using a dead blow hammer on your ratchet is good to break the bolt loose. All right, that's working. I don't know the thread pitch to it. Here it comes. Just in case. Aha, there we go. Jesus. I feel like it's an M8 by something. Yeah, I put a lug nut on there because I did not want this thing to fly off on me. There we go. Goodbye. All right, now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and clean all this up and then add some of this stuff. It's a brake caliper grease. It's basically anti-seize, just like the copper one I have, but this one is a little bit different. I don't know what it is, actually, to be honest. Anyway, I'm gonna apply some on the surface of here. Then what we're gonna do, we're gonna put on our new rotor. We're gonna clean it, clean the backside of it, put it on, clean the face, and then we're gonna put our new caliper on. Yeah, so basically this is just a grease that you put on any parts of your braking system. I could put some anti-seize on here, like I told you earlier, but this grease will be just fine. It's not going to do anything bad. It's actually going to hold up pretty well. To be honest, I'm doing this because I don't know what happened to my anti-seize. All right, and here's the new rotor. This one, I paid like 10 bucks extra. It's fully coated, so it's entirely rust preventative, which is awesome. We're going to clean this whole surface right here to get any of the grease off that they put in the package. There's gonna be your lug holes, and then there's gonna be these two access holes. We're gonna line those up. So that way we can adjust our parking brake. Look at that, it looks beautiful. Oh, that looks beautiful. So I always recommend putting red Loctite on these threads, but I don't know what happened to my red. And all I have is blue, so this is better than nothing. So the bracket gets torqued to 77 foot-pounds, and then these slide pins, the slide bolts, get torqued to 65 foot-pounds once the caliper gets put on. Okay, here's our brake pads. I'm gonna put the wear indicator on the top for the inside position. I guess you could have put these on prior to the install, but that's okay. Make sure this tab is on the outside. You don't want it rubbing on the rotor. Then we're going to take our grease and ever so slightly, without touching the rotor, just apply a little bit of that grease on there. We want these pads to slide with ease. We're just going to apply a little bit on the outside. And then once the pad is on, I'm gonna put a little bit on the center where the piston would be. Just on the contact surfaces. And then see these little ears right here? A little bit there, and a little bit there. And that's it, that's all the grease you need. Let's grab the new top part for the caliper. And then grab our bolts. Usually I will put some brake silicone on, but these already came pre-lubed. Now if you're just replacing brake pads, use some of this stuff. This is just brake lubricant, Sil-Glide. It's just silicone that doesn't wear down the seals. Now let's put the brake line on. So this banjo bolt, whenever you put it on the brake line, it gets torqued to 22 foot-pounds. Oh, that's dirty. I don't think I can torque this thing down. Uh-oh. Okay, this is something I don't like doing, but I don't have a choice. All right. Should be tight. Last thing to do, let's just pop this bracket back on, or clip. All we gotta do is bleed the caliper, and then yeah, that's it. All right, just for the sake of having some type of daylight, so I can film bleeding the brakes, I got my reservoir topped off. I got my bottle and line all sorted out. Let's start bleeding. And if you guys want to know how to do this by yourself, check out the short right here that I made on how to bleed your brakes by yourself. All right, it's nice and clear. Now, what I ended up doing, I turned my ignition to the on position, and then I just pressed on the brakes, and then the ABS started activating. So I've been wanting to clear out the ABS pump, and I think that's what actually just did it. So that was awesome. So now I'm gonna move over to the driver's side and do the same thing. I'm just gonna pump it, top off the reservoir, and then bump the key on. And then just keep my foot on the brake. I felt the ABS module start working, and then yeah, that's gonna be it. So let's jump over there. All right, guys, I got the brakes bled, clear fluid started coming out, which is great. Brake pedal feels good. And now all I'm going to do is just put the wheels back on, torque them to like 82 foot-pounds, and then go for a drive. So I'm gonna do that, and I will see you right after this. Huh. I do hear a weird sound. It's day 2 of working on the rear calipers, or I should just say rear brakes, on the 4Runner. So last night I took it for a test drive, and I'm pretty sure you might have heard the sound. Well, it's making like this like ticking sound on the rear end. I don't know if something's like touching the rotor. I'm gonna start up the car, put it in drive, and let the back wheels turn, because it was just more rhythmic as the car was driving. It got more intense. So let's try to find out what that is. All right, I got the tire off, and I have it in drive, and let's let go of the brake and see what that noise is. Huh. All right, so I'm gonna go through and see if anything's touching that rotor, and when I find it, or if I find it, I'll let you guys know. All right, guys, so I found the culprit of that noise. So I had to take everything off, as you can see. You hear that? So I was looking around inside of here, checking all the springs and stuff, and you see that one spring right here that holds down the parking brake shoe? That's what it is. This top part, see that right there? That top part of the spring came undone, and it's just touching the back of each stud. So every single time I move it, wow, that's crazy. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to fit some pliers in there, and then just push back on and turn it and lock it back in place. All right, after about an hour, I finally got it. I had to put a new bar on. This one, I don't think it's from a 4Runner. It's a little bit too long. Either that or the spring is just worn out. I'm gonna have to pick up a new parking brake assemblies, like the spring kit, and redo all this. But I got it on there for now, and it's not making contact anymore, which is great. So I'm gonna button it back up and then go for a test drive, and then it should be fine after that. All right guys, and actually while I still have it up on the jack stands, I'm just gonna start it and then put it in drive to see if that got rid of the noise. Oh yeah, quiet. Now let me engage the parking brake. Okay. Now let me put it in drive again. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. So I solved that issue. When you're doing the rear brakes, keep that in mind. Watch out for the parking brake springs. I don't know how it got loose. Just keep that in mind before you put everything 100% back together and torque down the wheels. Just rotate your wheel, which I did. I didn't have any issues whenever I was rotating the wheels. So it might have just, whenever I hit the road, it might have just started making that noise. So anyways, if you guys found this video helpful and you liked it, of course, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to see more videos like these, and also follow me on Instagram. You can tag me in your builds. It's at Sloth King Garage. I will put it right here on the screen. I want to see what you guys are building. Anyways, take it easy. Ah, damn it. I knew that was gonna happen.